Suzanne is a great example of what can be achieved if you really want it. She trained with us twice a week for about 18 or 19 weeks. She also did a bit of extra work at home. Most of the stuff she did with us at the Fitness Tailor was quite intensive weight training. We also did some cardiovascular stuff, especially closer to the end. Her nutrition was absolutely fantastic, and hence that's why she got abs. She didn't really drink at all for the last 2 or 3 months, and we did help her out with guiding her on her calorie intake. That is something that a lot of people really don't know too much about, and that's where they're going wrong. So that was where Suzanne got her results. Alan was the winner of our Time to Change competition. He trained with us 3 times per week for 12 weeks, along with 2 sessions which he did at home. For the first 4 weeks, Alan actually did no cardiovascular work whatsoever. It was just building a foundation of strength. And then the last 8 weeks, we did bring in 1 conditioning session a week, along with 2 weight sessions a week. Again, his nutrition was absolutely 100%, and that's how he did get the crazy results that he got in the 12 weeks. Again, it's another example of somebody that just wanted it, and they were going to give it all they had for the 12 weeks. Claire trained in a group 3 times a week. She would have had an 8-week period where she really zoned in on her nutrition. She really asked a lot of questions. She wanted to know how could she get as lean as possible in those 8 weeks. So we gave her a bit of an education on MyFitnessPal. So if anything, she was probably eating more than she was used to, but she was just eating the right quality of food. So we did kind of tell her, how much protein, how much fats and how much carbohydrates she needed. So it really worked wonders for her, and she became quite lean. She's one of the hardest workers we've ever had in the gym, so her results were really well deserved. From day one, Chris was an absolute revelation. He actually travelled from Portlaoise to train with us once or twice a week, along with 3 or 4 sessions that he did back in Portlaoise. His nutrition was completely overhauled, so his diet actually became excellent. He never needed to count calories or anything like that. He just improved the quality of his food completely. He actually dropped 42 pounds, and he dropped a jean size from 42 to 36, which is pretty crazy, as he was only training with us just over 2 months. So just goes to show his dedication, and every session he did with us was intense, and he got what he deserved. Fantastic. Siobhan trained 4 times a week for 10 weeks with our trainers Latoya and Ryan. She actually had 2 babies in the previous 14 months, so she really found that the training improved her self-confidence, and she is helping her regain her old body. She actually lost 6 inches from her midsection and 23 pounds, which is really impressive, especially considering she'd be the first to admit that within the 10 weeks she had a couple of hiccups, in terms of attending weddings and functions and stuff where she might have had the odd slip up with nutrition. But she had a fantastic attitude to her training, and we were really proud for her to get the results. Olivia was a complete beginner when she joined the Fitness Tailor. She was a self-proclaimed couch potato, and like many people, she was just stuck in a rut of working the 9 to 5 and then just kind of sitting on the couch watching TV for the evening. So she was a complete beginner when she came in. She trained in a group 3 times a week for 8 weeks. When she started with us, everything hurt. She had a weak lower back, but all this changed and she became much stronger, and she really caught on well to the training. In the end, she lost 16 pounds and 3 inches from her stomach alone in the 8 weeks. So again, her nutrition was fantastic, and you can really see the results. Jonathan was our client of the month back in March. He trained with our trainer Ryan for 10 weeks. He trained 4 times a week. He's actually now training in a group, so he's still with us. So back around February and March, he was doing one-to-one training, and he actually lost 28 pounds, 6 inches from the midsection, and 7% body fat. John was a great client. He always asked loads of questions about nutrition and training. He wanted to get the most out of his sessions. He actually only did 10 sessions with us. He did 10 sessions with myself on a one-to-one basis. He spread them out over 7.5 weeks, so he did a little bit in the gym himself, and he really paid attention to his diet. I don't think he actually stepped out of line whatsoever. So over the 7.5 weeks, he lost 24 pounds and 5 inches from his midsection. He was just an absolute workhorse, and he squeezed every last ounce of effort out of himself on every session. Back in January 2015, Calvin did the intensive program with our trainer Ryan. So all in all, he trained with us for 10 weeks. He lost 29 pounds, 8 inches from his midsection, and 10% body fat. So absolutely fantastic results in a short space of time. Tommy did 20 one-to-one sessions with us in the run-up to his wedding. He liked a good hard training session, and he's the kind of guy where in between exercises you might tell him he can have an 80-second break and he'd only take 30 or 40 seconds. That's how driven he was. He lost 6% body fat and 21 pounds. Elizabeth trained with us for 3 months. She actually did the buddy training package with her daughter Sophie. Herself and her daughter were an absolute pleasure to coach. Elizabeth was a complete beginner when she started with us, but she picked up everything quite quickly. She dropped 2 dress sizes, 24 pounds and 4 inches from her waist. Paulie did the group training package with us. He had been training with us for a couple of months and he was getting stronger, but he wasn't giving his nutrition enough attention. So in the last 8 weeks, we decided he was going to really zone in and give it everything he had with the nutrition. So we gave him guidelines when it came to his macronutrients, his protein, his carbs, his fats. He followed our instructions to a T, and I'm sure you'll agree, in those 8 weeks he actually became quite ripped. So he probably would agree that the nutrition is definitely what brought him to that next level, because to be honest, he already had built up a good level of strength before that.